Who cannot beat stuttering, and why can't they beat stuttering? I'd like to hear from as many people as possible. Oh, so Prathusha, the mic is back to you, dear.
Thank you so much, Coach Lee. I think Yasin is so excited to answer this question. So, Yasin, let's go.
Okay, so the question was, who are the people who cannot beat stuttering, right?
Right.
Yeah. So those who cannot beat stuttering are those who do not want to beat it in the first place, or those who do not even try to use the methods. Because these methods do work, and I've seen that with my own eyes. It's like magic. So, only those who in the first place do not want it, or those who want to live with it, or those who do not even believe it will work, only they will never fix it.
Wonderful, Yasin. You just hit the nail, right? The
Yes.
moment you start believing it, you solve half the problem, right? Wonderful
Yeah.
answer. Thank you so much.
The most courageous 13-year-old in the world basically took my answer. So I'll kind of put a different spin on it. I personally feel the people that don't want to overcome stuttering are those who don't want to put the work in. And I know at times it could be tedious to read aloud for 1 hour a day and then spend another 20 to 40 minutes doing your daily mind training. And then on top of that, you have to just be vigilant at using your crutches and speech plans when you're under so much pressure. And with some people, I think they subconsciously want to have a stuttering problem because, it just makes them have an excuse in life not to move ahead forward in life and stuff like that. But Yasin, you basically took my answer. So it comes down to work ethic. And I can honestly say that if you truly do want to overcome this nonsensical habit, because that is all stuttering is, and then just put the work in with the 1, 2, 3 punch and just diligently immerse yourself in all the amazing resources and methods that WSSA has to provide. Thank you.
Wonderful answer, Danny. And even I think that, when people have sustainable habits, like you have a habit and you're able to sustain it for a long time, then I think those are the ones who can beat stuttering. For example, if a guy who goes to gym and he has stuttering, he has higher probability of beating a stuttering than a guy who doesn't go to gym on a regular basis. So that's my take on Coach Lee's question.
What I feel is that the people who keep going in and out of the program when they experience the first bit of fluent speech will never overcome their stuttering. This has been me for the past 6 months. I initially joined the program in April or May. Then I was in the program for 1 month, and then I was starting to get a little bit of fluent speech, and then I thought that I could just carry on without the program. So I stopped doing my affirmations, I stopped attending the meetings, and I was good for some time. But then after that, the dreaded stuttering returned. I again joined the I once again joined the program in June, and this time I was in the program for I think over 2 months, and then once again I stopped, right? And as you all might be aware, that again around November, December I relapsed, and my stuttering was back. So I am back in the program now, and that's why I feel that it's important to be consistent, and the people who are not consistent with the program will never be stuttering. Yes.
Great answer, Anomitra. The goal is first to finish the program, right? And that's the most important thing.
So as someone who has fallen off the wagon, as Lee graciously put it a couple of times, for me, I think the biggest thing has been and still is consistency. That's what it always seems to come down to. As long as you aren't putting in consistent effort, you're gonna have a hard time at beating it. For me, this seems to be the thing that has held me back in the past. It has not held me back this whole year, by the way. I have been fluent this whole year. Um, yeah. Um, so I would say for some people, even though they would always say, hey, I want to get rid of stuttering, I want to beat it, there may still be some subconscious parts of you that are holding on and that are holding on to what is essentially not a great thing, but it has been a constant in life. So for me, I've been stuttering since age 3. I'm 26 now. So the vast majority of my life, stuttering has been a constant. And yeah, I feel like with humans in general, it's often difficult to let things go, even when those things are not great and have a lot of bad qualities. And you just have to get to the bottom of that as well. And I've been doing that with mind training, and it has worked very well.
The reason why we don't beat stutter, in my opinion, is we don't do enough to beat stutter. Because we do something like daily. We must do to make habit. We must do 14 hours, right? As me also, I'm doing maybe one day I'm doing good, the next day I'm doing not good. So to be beating stutter, we must do consistency to do our speech, because we want to beat stutter, but we don't do enough to beat stutter. So the reason why, uh, to be the consistency, and to do hard work, to love to speak, and to do affirmation, to do one-two punch. So that's why. Thank you.
Congratulations to my man Yassine. I watched your video the other day and it had me tear up. Oh man, I would have killed for a program like this at 13. Dude, you have no idea how much you have reset the trajectory of your life. Dude, you're my hero, man. Seriously. You've been in my practice sessions. You always raise your hand. You want to go first. You want to do things that people were scared to do, man. You got a lot of heart, man. So I just want to say that. Pretty much everyone's already answered the question, but I'm going to try to say it in my own way. You have to be obsessed to beat this. You have to depend like your life depends on it, because it does. Simple as that. You got to want this more than you want to breathe, more than you want to eat, more than you want to sleep. And bottom line, if you don't put in the work, if you don't do the affirmations, heck, man, I mean, you guys have an app now. Like, I didn't have an app like this when I started. You guys have multiple practice sessions. Back when I started, there's maybe 1, 2, 3 at the most. And now you have a growing community. Like, you guys have all the tools to beat this. It's right in front of you. It's on the silver platter right now. But you gotta pick it up. You gotta use it. If you don't use it, like, that's on you. Like, it's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink it. I mean, this applies. I mean, look at Yassine. Like, he beat it in what, 2 months, a month, something like that, which is remarkable. I mean, this kid is, dare I say, the poster boy of the program now. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's all I really have to add. I want to give props where props are due. And you guys also have like a dozen coaches. You got Prathusha, you got Danny, you got Clifton, you got Javier, you got countless others, man. And plus you got Lee as like a free resource as well, man. I mean, you guys are some of the luckiest folks in the world. So that's it. That's all I want to say. I kind of rambled on, but you get the idea.
Thank you so much, Steve. I really like that we gotta be obsessed, right? If you have to beat stuttering, and I really like that.
I love
Hi.
Steve's answer. I got to interrupt. That was so brilliant, Steve. What a wonderful answer.
So, first of all, I would like to say that no matter how severe your stutter is, everyone has the ability to overcome it, provided they put the work into it. And next, I feel that the people who will not overcome it are the people who don't really know about the program itself, and they don't know why stuttering is caused. Some people still think it's some physical impairment with their speech muscles, because not everyone really knows that it's caused by a habit, and it's your psychological thinking that causes the issue. So once people understand that, they will realize that once you start to develop a positive mindset, that's like half the solution done. And the other work is just to do the habits, do the crutches, do the reading aloud, and you're all sorted after that. So we need to make sure that we spread out the reach of the program and make sure that every PWS out there knows the names Lee Lovett and WSSA, and it'd be great. That's all I have to say.
Great answer. Great answer, Kaushik. That's so true.
You can definitely overcome stuttering through the consistency and the belief that, this program offers. And to add on to that, I would like to also mention that there are two kinds of people that cannot overcome stuttering, in my opinion. And the first type of person will be someone that doesn't believe or doesn't think that having a stuttering issue or speech disfluency issue is an issue, is a problem. They just feel like, it's just something that they do, and they can just, continue doing it. And, there's nothing wrong with that. And also the second type of person I would say is someone that believes they can cope with it. I mean, it's also the first type of person, but the second one is like someone that does believe that there is an issue, but they believe they can cope with it. And I believe I was that second person for a while until I understood that I don't want to cope with that. And that's why, I joined this program. So, yep.
So I would say, we all went through bad times. There's a lot of memories on us, right? Bad memories, and when we feared and we faltered and we failed. So I would like to say it is work. It is quite a work to stay on the course, to continue with the drill and practice session and all. But yeah, if you are serious, and as Steve said it rightly, you have to love it just like your life. It has to be really, really high up for you, right? So you can do it. It is work. And also, I would like to say, I see some of our community members like Danny is there, Javier is there, Pratyusha is there. So, if you are a student of a subject, you can learn it. But if you become teacher of a subject, then you learn it fast. So keeping that sort of approach will also be great. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that why people are not overcoming it is because they're lazy, honestly. They don't want to put all of the work because you know what? Because everything with a practice, it works. You have to stay consistent, and you have to stay disciplined, and you have to put all of the work and the effort. If it wasn't for this program, I would have not have taken the lead teacher position at work because it is because with like work and consistency and coming to those group sessions, I am able um, to overcome it. Maybe not 100%, however, maybe 60% of it. And I truly do believe is that It's not something in your like a DNA that you guys do stutter. It is a habit, like monkey see, monkey do,
Right.
100%. So you have to put the effort and the training, and you have to stay consistent for sure.
First of all, I'm inspired and intimidated by the quality of the answers. Like, it's incredible. All of them have been amazing and spot on. I think I would just like not add because it's essentially, but just mention that there's a word that has come up again and again and again, which is belief. And I think belief is essential in different ways. Believe that this work, because it does work. Believe when the panic comes and the pressure hits, because it will hit, and it isn't just to us, it's essentially to all speakers, when speaking in job interviews, here, like in Zoom in front of a lot of people, is completely expected and normal and human to feel a little bit anxious and nervous. But the important thing is to believe in the process. If we believe that the method works and it does work, and you go with a plan and you execute that plan, be a Crash, be the ESP plan, that's the most important thing. And I found when I had troubles or choppy speech, it was because I just went forward. I didn't executed my plan because I was anxious and I was nervous. So I think that's essential, when things get tough, you have to believe in the practice, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the plan and execute it. Thank you.
Steve mentioned the resources today we have, especially this platform. I just want to say, it's amazing. Before, when I don't know how many years ago, long time, over a decade ago, I was desperate looking on Google to find anything I could. And I would call people, and I even called someone that I forget if they said they claimed they beat it, but I ended up calling the person, and he told me flat out, "You can't beat it." It's funny because I got a book called Holding Back, I think, by John Harrison, and at the end of his book there was a number, and I called it, and he answered, and I was shocked, and he invited me to this like underground Yahoo group with a few speech pathologists and a few people that were just trying to beat it and learn about stuttering. There was I think an author that y'all have mentioned before called named Ruth Mead, and I called her too, and it was very like, you had to just get lucky almost and call these numbers to get information, and then you had to piece it together. But a lack of information is really, some people don't know where to look, but now there's resources, and I love it. And I remember in the past I would meet maybe a few people who stuttered just out and about. If I was traveling, I knew a friend's dad that stuttered, and I didn't have any way to direct them, but now I can definitely say, hey, go to this platform or do this. So that's kind of I recommend, sharing this with anybody who stutters and doesn't know what it's about, because I didn't know what it was about for a long time. And I was trying all these different things. I remember in school, actually, I try to do what, like, the King's Speech type of stuff, like crazy things that I thought maybe would help. I would visualize myself in third person and try to be relaxed and then say something. And then I would make a fool of myself, trying to talk to, whoever was behind me. And then also, I developed stuttering when I was about 13, a little later, but I remember alcohol drinking would actually help, but that wasn't the way. So, information was a blessing.
It's very so for people who have started the process of eliminating stuttering, we all tend to expect 100% fluent speech from day one. And even a single bad incident, we feel that we are not making any progress. As speaking is such a essential part of our life, And even one single incident can hamper our confidence and trust in the process. And it's the reason we start to veer off the path of improvement and working on the speech. And for a person like me who has been so conscious about my speech for such a long time, in ways what will people think about me even if I have the slightest incident of stutter. So it really bothered me, and it's the reason, for the longest time I was not able to be on a consistent speech improvement plan, in spite of knowing about Coach Lee's work uh, for a few years now. Yeah, and another reason is that probably, if we really want to uh, completely eliminate stuttering issue, it's also important to have a community of people to help us with. Doing so all alone, especially when people around you are not stuttering, are completely fluent, they won't be able to relate to the problems, the emotion uh, people who stutter feel. So it's also important to have a community of people working together and helping each other in solving this issue, because for the longest time in my life I have tried every trick in the book. I have scored through all the resources on the internet about how to eliminate stutter in every possible ways. I have tried to avoid speaking situations, and I have gotten embarrassed in a lot of speaking thing a lot of times. Yeah, in a way, I feel that having that community of people and not being too harsh on ourselves and expecting 100% result on the first day is what often hampers our progress towards speech improvement.
That's a wonderful answer, Jared. I think WSSA is the only community that has ex-stutterers, right? Uh, I've been searching, when I used to stutter, I searched for a community, but it was suicidal because everybody talked negative about their life, and it was very demotivating. But after joining this program, my life entirely changed. So we are all blessed to be here in the first place.
I didn't follow through the program until last year. And yes, anyone can beat stuttering. My first session with Danny, even the fourth day I met with him, I've been able to slow my speech a little bit. I'm still learning. So I think that everyone can beat stuttering if only we can apply the techniques that Lee book outlined. We need to speak incrementally, slow our speech, and do all the affirmation, use all the the crutches, everything that all the um, all the techniques that is in his book. So again, I bought the book, but I haven't even. I'm just trying to start to read it and to apply all the techniques. So I believe that everyone can be stuttering if he or she, if the person can just practice and apply what the book outlined. And again, I think that for anyone to beat stuttering, you have to have that motivation to do that. You have to have the self motivation to really give in the time, put in the effort, and practice what you learn, what you learn from Lee and all the coaches and the book. With time, I feel that anyone can beat stuttering, which I never believed myself before, because all my life I have stuttered, and I thought it was just like, it's inherited. Once you have it, that was a lie I believed before I found this program, and I know now it is possible to beat stuttering if we can apply the techniques. So that's what I want to say today. That yes, it's a lie that we are born with stutter. Anyone can beat stutter with practice, with self-motivation, with consistency. And yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Helen.
So my father is a stutter. So stuttering helped me to maintain a bond with my father. And so when I was a teenager, I thought if I beat stuttering and I stop stuttering, it's somewhat like betraying my father. So I analyzed myself and I thought this is wrong. So I found something else that I have in common with my father and his music. So he's a guitarist and I played the drums for so many years. So this was one of the reasons who kept me stuttering. And the other ones are consistency. I wasn't really consistent when I was younger. And also I had I was afraid of a failure. So you can learn the technique. You can start and do one call, but if you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, you will not heal from your stuttering. You have to stick with it every day and expand your comfort zone basically every day.
All right. I think everyone's answers have been pretty comprehensive. But to add just a few points, I would say that some people, like even beyond stuttering, they're just afraid of change. Like maybe they're worried about creating a new image for themselves or challenging how their friends and family view them. If they've been stuttering and blocking and monotone all their lives, then to suddenly be fluent and passionate can be a pretty tall ask. But then also, like, if their stuttering is mild, then maybe they're just more comfortable with it than, say, using crutches. At least with stuttering, in my experience, I always felt like a victim of it, like it just happened to me. But now with crutches, I have to actively choose that discomfort because in the long run, it's still better to use a crutch than to stutter. Like it might feel like I'm choosing it, which makes it worse, but in reality, it's ultimately the better option for me. And then to quote John Harrison, as we mentioned earlier, like, yes, you have to want to be stuttering, but you also have to stop holding back. Like sometimes people might feel that they deserve stuttering because they don't want to be free for whatever reason. And so to beat it, you have to be okay with being free, with being yourself and ultimately fully expressing yourself. Otherwise, like some part of you will always think that you're better off being disfluent for one reason or another.
Well, even though I don't stutter, the only thing I wanted to say is that I clutter. But I noticed a big difference in my brother Yasin, that he reads and it helps a lot. I also read to slow down my speech and it helps a lot because I see my brother when he before he joined and when he started reading after he joined, his speech literally changed as he never stuttered. So that's all I wanted to say.
Great. And Hassan, we are so happy to have you here. Keep coming to every SAM meeting, okay?
Okay, I will. I'll try to come into every session.
Thank you so much.
I went last, and y'all took all of my great ideas. Pretty much, that was a lot of good thoughts. First off, everyone sounds really good. Like everyone today has just spoken with such articulate fluency and pacing and timing. You guys are really killing it. But you're all dead wrong except Helen. Lee asked us a trick question, and the answer is there is no one. Anyone can cure it. There is no one that can't stop stuttering. So you're welcome. That's all I have to say.
There have been so many wonderful comments here today. It's difficult, by mentioning some, I exclude others, but I've made a list of most everyone who's spoken here. I won't mention all their names, but the comments have been absolutely fabulous. And continue to seek pressured speech situations, because that's where you are going to take it to another level, and where you are going to learn to love to speak in all situations, as I do, as I know Prathusha and other people here do. I know that. And we're not doing one thing you can't do. Prathusha, great job today. And thank you, everyone. I can't thank you enough. Today was the best session I can remember. And why is that? Because more of you talked, and more of you told us what you think. And I loved what you think. I loved it. Prathusha, back to you.
Thank you so much, Coach Lee. I think we came to the end of this meeting. I hope you enjoyed exchanging thoughts with ex-stutterers and those fast becoming ex-stutterers. And now I'll end this session with our motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word anywhere, anytime, then you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. Until next Saturday, have a great weekend, guys.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.